Ford Capri fuel pump part 2. Problems with your fuel pump. Problem is stalling on hills. First video made a plastic bush and the job worked. I'll explain exactly again what exactly the problem is. Genuine Ford pump, genuine Ford bush. Just tighten it up. Genuine Ford bush. This protrudes from with this plastic bush on to the top of this here. Measures Ford 10mm. If you buy an aftermarket one, this one is a Quentin nasal one, and you put it on, it projects from the bottom of the gasket, this plastic here, to the top. It projects 8mm. So the problem is, you'll find that it only pumps a small amount. The new one, this is a Quentin nasal one, it only pumps a small amount of fuel. So you drive along on the road on flat, it's pumping a small amount, enough for it to run. When it's downhill, enough for it to run. But as soon as you get on hill, as you start to accelerate, and you start emptying your carburetor, it stalls on hills. And I found this out because the genuine pump works fine. But unfortunately, it's 40-year-old, so it needed taking off as a serviceable part. Put a new Quentin nasal on. You put the plastic bush on, because these are hard to get hold of. So the best thing to do is make a new one. Plastic, this is nylon. Put it on top, draw around it, cut it out with a saw, drill an hole in the middle with a hole saw. 2 holes, and drill them out. And then thin it down and keep checking it, the distance. And you want to be the height from the gasket to the top of there, 10mm. If it's less than 10mm, your car will stall. Some people have said on the internet you can't get these plastic bushes, genuine bushes. People said just make one. Yeah, I've tried getting hold of them, you can't get hold of them. So I made one out of this plastic nylon. They use this in cogs in engines, so it's pretty durable stuff. It's quite hard to drill and it's hard to saw. Make a new one, file it down to the right thickness, so when you put it on your new pump, which I've Quentin nasal, when I put it on, from the base to the very top of this flat here, if you measure it, it wants to be 10mm. If you put this on now and measure it, it is 8. So this gasket here is a genuine one, but it's too thick. So somebody somewhere is having some serious problems. You could file the original one down by 2mm. Some people took them off completely, stuck them onto the engine like that, and it's way too much. It will break this circlip off, and if that goes in the engine, trouble. So don't bolt it straight to your engine, because you'll end up causing some serious problems, because it protrudes way too much. It has to have this, it has to have that bush on. But if you put it on, the genuine bush, onto a Quentin nasal, it'll stall on hills. So you need just a 2mm difference. Make one of these 2mm thinner, and the problem is solved. That's how I solved a Ford Capri stalling on hills. If you take your top off your carburetor and look inside, you'll find that you'll not find much fuel inside your carburetor, because it's just not pumping enough in. So hope this helps people with a Capri, or they put this on several engines This pump fits Capri, Escort, RS2000, Ford Transit, fits all sorts of weird things. So I don't know why you have to go to this extremes of making a gasket, but this gasket's broke anyway, so I had to make a new one. So I could have filed that down, but I decided to make a new one, put it on. But I tried this on originally onto Quentin Hazel pump. It stalled every time I got on hills. Put the original pump back on it with the original gasket, works okay. But I can't keep running this for 40 years on this, so I've got to put a new pump on. Measured the distance, two different. Thinner gasket, problem solved. So they're the measurements, if we can see them. The Ford one 10mm, the Quentin Hazel 8mm. So I hope you understand this video. Put it on, original, from the gasket to the top measures 10mm. Put that on, it measures 8. So you have to make a thinner gasket by 2mm. Can't get any clearer than that. Hope it helps you. Bye bye. Have fun with your Capri.